And welcome to the Cryptonaut podcast. My name is Mark Stores. And hanging out with me as always is
Buffalo Bobby.
Buffalo?
I'm on the train.
Dude.
The victory train.
You are welcome in the Bills Mafia.
I
friend.
know it's easy to say because they're on a trajectory of winning so far. But really, just seeing dear friends like you and Danny and my nephew Hunter and the excitement of all of Central and Western New York.
Yeah, man.
It's hard not to. And I even brought a little mojo
look at that. A little Buffalo Bill Bobby.
Yeah, for the Danny gave me that one, our buddy.
Nice.
So yeah, go fucking Bills.
Go Bills, and hopefully by the time this comes out, we have defeated KC and we are on our way to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, let's not hope this is like a tragic moment of hope before something sad, because I didn't want to.
Like
that.
It always is.
Odds are.
I'll be honest.
That's what we do.
The fucks I give about football have always been minimal, but I do see the joy it brings, and I'm hoping that Buffalo doesn't get burned to the ground. Either way, but I also hope for a fun victory for the fans.
If there's a parade, I'll be there. Me and Nicole have already talked about it.
Sure.
So me and the kids and Nicole are going to go there for a couple of days. I might be back.
I'd be more concerned about the night.
I mean,
especially if they
you got
win.
weapons, right?
I mean, we're spending the night.
Right.
So
just bring some defense.
It's going to get wild.
You're going to watch it in
bring
Buffalo?
some defense.
Like
no,
a bar or something?
No, after the Super Bowl, they'll have like a parade in the hometown.
But of course, that's still speculative. We don't want to fucking jinx anything. But yeah, that means the very night. Either way, there's going to be a drunken meltdown of joy or sorrow, and I pity the Rust Belt. It's going to fucking be in flames.
It could last for weeks, and we could see all of Western New York just cave in on itself. Enjoy. Or sadness.
Right.
We're not sure. And you good sir are.
I'm Chris.
Thank you
shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. That was a long intro.
Dude.
I had to go down that road. Though.
I mean, after yesterday's game with the Ravens, I'm just like,
it was kind of nutty.
Oh man.
That was a fucking nail biter.
I told Nick, I'm like, baby, it's just one more week. That's all it is, just one more week. We just gotta get to the next week.
I love that you always post those pictures of you and your fam all decked out, fucking loving it.
Oh, dude, they get so excited.
That's what's so cool.
They'll
always
excited.
remember that. I love that. I remember
it's awesome.
Hanging out with my dad on the front porch, and he'd be listening to the Yankees games, or I'd hear like Phil Rizzuto hawking for the money store on WPX.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd be like laying on the fold-out couch when I was a little kid sleeping. And I was already a paranoid kid. I was afraid of everything from like home invaders to alien fucking assault and fucking all sorts of crazy shit. And he'd sit there, and I'd just watch the dancing, glowing ember of his cigarette, and these little wispy clouds is like it became like it's like a beautiful shot, like Twilight time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I know I'm safe. My dad's here. That big, sturdy John Wayne loving motherfucker.
There you go.
And I was just like, oh, I know those things are going to kill you, and they did. But you know what? That little bouncing orange ember brings me a lot of joy. It's one of my happy places.
As does it all.
Sports. It's not all bad.
Sports.
Exactly.
Smoking.
It's sports and smoking. Get into
all right,
it.
I'm on target now.
Yeah,
I digressed enough.
Do crime.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I just wasn't going to endorse that. But
I mean,
okay.
like small vandalism. It's okay.
Well, you don't hurt other people's shit.
No, just write hell or space on something cool.
Okay,
Take a picture, then clean it off.
That's fine. Yes.
Do responsible crime.
Responsible
Bring your
vandalism.
Windex. Just write it really small and wipe out really quick.
Yep.
Yes.
Just enough to get the picture.
Dry erase markers.
Yeah. Right.
Christ, dude.
It's just do like
do it in lemon juice, so the sun has to be on it.
Oh, invisible ink. I remember that shit so well when I was a kid.
There you go.
Never really worked.
Not real. Not the way you should.
But
No.
you kind of hoped.
Well, before we get started with this week's episode,
Shoo.
we have a pretty big announcement here. We're part of a grassroots advertising campaign. You know why? Because when Big Cenobite comes a calling,
Oh boy.
guess who they go to? The Cryptonaut
Yeah,
podcast.
well, they know we have two options, and they've been both to hell and space.
Exactly. And we are the perfect podcast to kind of help push this out there to let everyone know that in theaters, February 5th and 6th from Fathom Entertainment, Hellraiser Remastered 4K. So check out the link for this is going to be in the description of the podcast. This is going to be through Fathom Events, so it's going to be at all your local cinemas. You can check it out there.
Absolutely.
For the first time in 37 years, Fathom Entertainment will bring a newly remastered 1987's Hellraiser to U.S. theaters on again February 5th and 6th of 2025. This release will feature the newly remastered 4K version of the film, as well as an archival interview, Under the Skin, with Doug Bradley on Hellraiser, where the iconic actor discusses his appearance as Pinhead.
Oh my.
So if you kids out there have never had a chance, like I never saw Hellraiser in
I
theaters.
saw it at our local
7.
mall, but yeah, I was 14.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I was a 7-year-old child. I didn't get a chance to see it.
Of course not.
But coming up February 5th and 6th, this is your opportunity to see Hellraiser in 4K.
Oh, I'm definitely going to go.
So be sure to check that out. And I'm sure we're going to have some more advertisement for it coming out next week to remind you all of it. But this week, Oh, bizarre blobs, corporeal critters, or interdimensional invaders?
That's the question.
Shit.
Yeah.
It is the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really need to
These
know.
mucky buggers, what the hell are they?
Yeah.
What do they want? We're gonna tackle all these questions. We're gonna answer none of them. We're
I
gonna
mean,
have a good time.
We don't necessarily have to provide answers.
No, we just
provide our our
speculation.
commentary.
We opened the door for
True.
inquiry.
Yeah, you bust your ass getting the stuff researched and done, and then Chris and I make comments over the top of it.
I love it.
And that's how the show works.
That's the
Yeah.
process.
That's how it's been.
It's how
That's how you make
literally
your
what we do.
sausage.
Me just getting drunk and passing out.
Yeah,
But now I'm alert and paying
Yeah.
attention.
No, look, he's rehab, Chris.
Exactly.
I mean, look at this responsible bourbon sipping
yeah.
he's doing
See,
now.
there you go, man. I still got my
Yeah.
water over here.
Yeah, we
jamming.
definitely were shit shows in some of the earlier pods when we were still doing it in your dining room. Oh boy,
Oh yeah,
we
for
come
sure.
in loaded sometimes and then
Yeah.
just fucking go from
We
there
used to, well, it used to be on Fridays too. That's why, and I worked
at a pub.
at the bar.
yeah,
pick up Chris loaded.
always.
Like, let's go, buddy.
Well, I worked until 3, and then I'm like, well, the pod's at 6. I'm like, well, I might as well just stay here and
Drink out of 3 hours.
Sure.
drink these barrel-aged fucking stouts until you pick me up.
Nice.
And then go to bed.
Let's get started with. There are few things that send chills down the spine quicker than the thought of coming into contact with an undulating amorphous mass of living tissue, be they from the bottom of the ocean, the depths of space, the bowels of the earth, or infinitely more arcane realms. These squirming, scummy, shriek-inducing organisms have the power to terrify even the sturdiest of souls.
Oh yeah, they do.
Oh, shit.
This is my hand gesture. So.
Ooh, nice. That's a little crypt keeper.
It
for
is
you.
a little bit.
I like it. Oh boy,
Yeah, it was bad.
you've been a great TV horror host back
Too
in the
bad.
day.
I mean, if you're on the Patreon $10 tier, you get to see us do the ghost stories where I do my best. Mark Dracula.
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
once the lights go off
I'm a new man.
and fucking those little tiny things illuminate you from below, you really do. You become.
become-
It's the Methodist of method acting.
Dude, I become
Oh,
a new
yeah.
man.
Yeah, you really are. It's fucking nuts.
Nice.
I love it though.
Well, more of that to come. Patreon.com/Cryptonaut podcast. Robert,
Yes.
let's get started.
In past episodes, we've dealt with all manner of slippery, slimy, shapeless horrors. From the nameless thing of Berkeley Square, one of my all-time favorites, that nasty ectoplasmic tentacled fuck all.
Yeah, it is.
It's great.
Scares and kills people.
And the Kinderhook blob. You remember that guy?
It was
Floating around, seagull in a sheet.
seagull in
seagull,
a tops
yeah.
bag.
To the terrible flying jelly
Tops.
bags of Domston. Remember those kidnapping amoeba type things, trying to drag those fucking
the
Swedish
Domston.
kids?
I was gonna say
Blobs.
that they were like they were in Sweden and like came like the middle of the road and they
Yep.
were like weird like
Well, I think they stopped to take a piss or something. I don't remember exact dynamics. And then these fucking like 2 foot tall blobby things started grabbing them
Yeah.
and pulling like tough asses against the laws of
Yeah.
physics because I don't know what they had leverage to use.
no.
They mastered science.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I can say.
There you go.
Whatever science is, they own it. So anyway, these fuckers, I mean, I won't stop and talk about all of them. We've just done this a lot. To the purple-hued, assertively real-world origins, and I'm telling you, this caught on like wildfire. I pissed out this speculation years ago on Mysterious Universe,
Yes.
and now everyone states it like it's fact. That purple thing that fell down in Philadelphia. But anyway,
yes.
the assertable real-world origins of everyone's favorite anomalous alien amoeba made drive-in famous in 1958 in the one-of-a-kind space monster saga, The Blob, which is one of my favorites. It's so weird. It's so campy. Everyone in the movie takes it so seriously that as a kid, I remember it freaked me out a little bit, especially the diner scene at the end.
Right,
and I love the 88 remake.
Oh, yeah.
Like, people
Oh,
fucking
dude.
sleep on that all the time because, yes, Cronenberg's The Fly deserves love, and John Carpenter's The Thing is literally one of the few movies that is flawless.
The 80s remake was good.
So these
It's
80s
super
remakes
good.
were all good, and so I get why people aren't all as hyped up on the Blob, but give yourself a chance. If you haven't seen 88 Blob, that's
Yeah.
a solid, goopy, gory, fun, teenage, late 80s horror film mess.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
would be down with doing that as a movie night someday.
That would be super fun to do.
So anyway, we
Put it on the
love
list.
this shit. We love it.
Put it on the list.
Yes. All right. Over the years, we've also seen cars attacked or buzzed by globular bat-like beasts, and we even bore secondhand witness to a waddling subhuman sea star in a very recent listener story. Y'all remember that, the L-shaped bedroom?
Oh
in the
yeah.
Great
Oh,
Debate?
yeah.
With the weird creepy thing that was evil.
And the fucking alien with the 3 eyes and the multiple legs, which the eyewitness sent us a drawing of, and it's holy shit out of this world nuts.
Yeah, it's kind of insane.
Fucking crazy. So we
Yeah.
might be revisiting that someday. So yeah, and that one blob thing that was attacking a girl in the car. I wish I had a photographic memory. I do not, or didactic, or whatever they call it. Remember somebody in a car and this like wavy blob thing started coming at him?
Yes, it was during our Mothman stories. It was like a listener story.
It was a listener story, yeah.
It was, she had set in a story about a possible encounter with a Mothman.
Okay.
And then this was another encounter that she had.
That's
It was
so
on a backwood road.
So people are seeing this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Like people that
see
listen to
weird,
us, people out
crazy,
there.
blobby shit.
And I've often said, always say, in fact, that trees and plant-like things would have perfect camouflage. They can fucking always have a place to hide until we become basically like Geedy Prime and it's an industrial shithole and the whole planet gets renamed Love Canal. That's a reference for you oldies out there. Thank you for listening.
Nice.
But even better would be a blob type thing. You can form any shape. You could potentially go underwater. You could go in caves. You can hide in holes in trees. You can flatten yourself out, cover yourself in fucking moss, camo up. Like,
yeah,
it would be pretty easy to stay clandestine if you're a sentient blob.
having no bones and just being able to slither and slide wherever you want to go.
Bone free in 23.
If slying is a verb, I don't know.
Sure, why not?
Oh, cool.
It is now.
It is.
Awesome. I love it.
All right.
English remark.
Yes, indeed.
Indeed.
Okay. But as many times as we've grabbed the cattle prods, donned the hip waders, and ventured flashlights ablaze into this particularly icky Fortean tunnel, we've only just begun to reveal the hideous inhabitants therein. So in an effort to shed more light on the situation, we offer up a brand new bevy of misshapen misanthropes for your perusal. And you're welcome, listeners. We're going to have fun with this one.
Enjoy.
For many, the advent of affordable, high-quality home security technology is a godsend in that it allows one to protect their loved ones and possessions in ways only dreamed about in previous generations. There is, however, a dark side to these enhanced protections in that they also offer us a window through which we are able to catch alarming glimpses of the often unfathomable entities with whom we evidently share our world. Bearing that in mind, our first case, which comes to us from the Paranormal Encounters section of Reddit, I don't know which part's a subreddit. I don't really understand that. I just get cool stories from there when I can and try to accredit them properly. But maybe it's this paranormal subreddit. Is that how you use the phrase?
Yeah, it's just a subreddit, yeah.
Whatever it is. It's the paranormal part of Reddit.
The subreddit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, indeed. So this case deals with an inexplicable entity that was evidently captured on a home security camera. The witness, posting under the handle "Give No Quarter 1424," no quarter, sir.
Intense. Okay.
I said good day, sir. Wrote this account sometime in May of 2024 under the simple yet ominous heading, "A Black Blob." Quote, "About 4 months earlier, roughly January would be my math, we invested in a wireless security system. I had finished hooking it up and about 30 minutes later decided it was bedtime. My wife had went earlier to bed, I'm assuming. I looked at the monitor to verify that everything was good to go when I noticed a dark spot at the stairway to the front porch. I watched as this quote-unquote blob moves up the stairway and over the handrail. I'm starting to freak out, so I get my wife up to verify I'm not hallucinating, and she sees the same thing. As it gets closer to the porch, nubs, 3 of them, start to extend to kind of feel around. We both looked at each other. She asked, "What the hell is that?" "Hell, I don't know," is his fucking very understandable response.
You got some 3-nubbed visitor?
3-nub blobby visitor.
Ugh.
Using the railing, safety first. I mean, good on it.
I mean,
you gotta put a good patina on something here.
I mean, you're not wrong. Booby trap.
Or
Booby trap
infecting
that
it.
railing.
It could be sticky now, so when you touch it,
yeah.
you're fucked.
It's gonna ruin the wood.
Fair enough. Okay. I told her to watch the thing as I went to the front door. Brave guy. Now, believe me, I was more scared than I had ever been in my life. For reference, I have extensive training in defense. So he's a badass and still conceding he's desperately afraid.
Yeah, if you're into like jujitsu or like combat sports, you don't want to tangle with this thing.
Probably not.
No.
Think of the moves.
You can't tap out a blob.
You can't.
you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like you can.
You can't.
It'll stretch. It'll twist. It'll fuck you up.
You can't submit it.
Oh, no.
No.
No, that's just going to win every time.
You can't put it in a triangle. It's not going to work.
You can. It's just going to go.
It's just going to go through you. Yeah. Exactly.
Dare you use a camel clutch? Not exactly a preferred MMA move, I recognize, but still.
I've in fact never seen it used.
Oh, okay, fine.
just moonsault.
Or a figure four.
Yeah.
Can you suplex a blob?
Dude.
That's the only question we didn't answer.
Give it a
Yeah.
tombstone.
Oh my god. No, it'll just change shape. You're
Yeah.
fucked.
It's gonna break your knees. That's all the tombstone does.
Yeah.
Breaks your knees.
Yeah, it's true.
There you go.
Yeah, his knees got to be shit by now.
Just don't do it on concrete.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just do it on the
Yeah.
grass.
All right. All right. So our heavily trained
All right, defense.
eyewitness
I love it. Defense.
continued. I opened the door and said, "In the name of my heavenly Father, I order you to leave." Quick jump to that. I don't know his
All right.
perspective
I
yet,
mean,
but we can make assumptions.
Words have power.
yeah.
Not thinking it's an animal, not thinking it's an alien necessarily, understanding it's an abomination.
I'm gonna try this on my dog and see if he goes away.
Oh my! If he disappears, you're gonna know. He just goes poof.
He's gonna appear in Chris's
Black
house.
smoke comes out of his mouth.
Yeah, just his balls left and a fucking puff of sulfur.
Oh, his balls.
Sulfuric soap. Oh, they're long gone.
His balls been gone for
That's
a while.
what's no. They're gonna trade. They're gonna trade places. All you'll have is the balls wandering around your house, getting under your feet
Right.
all the time because you fucking banished the dog.
Right.
Oh man,
Curse
Heavenly
of the
Father,
balls.
I order you to leave.
Yes,
All
indeed. All right. So fucking
That's
fantastic.
crazy.
Then I went back and asked my wife if it was still here, and she said no. It left shortly after you went outside. I had to sit down. I was shaking so bad. End quote. As disturbing as this confrontation may have been, things would take an even more surreal turn when the homeowner went back to review the tape of the offending organism and found that there was no evidence whatsoever that the black blob had ever existed.
Oh, so he was watching it live, but it didn't show up on the
Didn't show up on the
playback.
tape.
Oh, crazy.
Wife watched it. He watched it.
Ooh, okay. All
I
right.
mean, all right, yeah, sure. The skeptical side of me, that definitely is flag country. Red flags all
I
over.
mean,
Yeah.
it's always flat country.
But-
Everything
Yeah.
we talk about is
Not
Then
everything.
Well,
some
then
things
again,
are-
I mean, not everything. Maybe
Well,
not always red flags. Some things are mauve.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's
Yeah.
always flag
All right,
country,
yeah, it's
just
always
level of flag.
Yeah, a tinted flag of some sort.
I
Right.
mean, paranormally
Off-white.
speaking, this thing.
On the other hand, say what you're going to say.
Yeah, man, this thing could just be evading visual capture because it's some weird paranormal
Fucking
thing.
ain't right.
Like how Bigfoot makes himself blurry, no one can ever get pictures.
I hate that.
I know, me too. It bugs me.
We should have
What,
found that
really?
goddamn ape by now.
I know. Well,
I thought you would like that.
yeah, it's convenient. Like
It's
most,
very
like
convenient.
most things I talk about and most theories
Yeah.
I have, they're very
Yeah, but you
convenient.
like those usually.
I
Now
do,
you're saying
but
you
I
don't
don't
like
know.
it.
Look, if he has a belt that he wears and he hits the thing and it's like woo 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 woo, and it
If
puts
it's
out
technology,
something,
that's awesome.
yeah, that's fine.
If it's Bigfoot tech from the Bigfoot
Yeah.
realm, and they can like wander in and out like fucking like Wakanda borders where it looks like
Yeah,
empty, and then you get through it. And it's
Yeah.
like this fucking paradise, or like Gorilla
It's
Grodd,
mode.
Yeah.
and they're fucking gorilla, fucking techno,
Dude.
utopia. But if that's the case, great. But if it's just fucking magic,
there's
I'm
always
so mad. We're gonna talk more about that later, but I'm getting mad
Oh
at
yeah, we
magic.
have a whole
But
thing for.
we're saving
Patreon.
that. We're saving
All
that
right,
for now.
Robert.
All right.
Moving on.
So, he banished it. He was shaking so bad.
Okay.
Cool.
No evidence whatsoever. In June of 2024, user Rhubarb Flat 5684. I love these names. I'm always trying to process the numbers.
Yeah, I love it.
Is
man.
it birthday? Is it like your favorite number?
Maybe it's your two favorite numbers.
Who knows? Is it end of your phone number? You don't know.
Yeah.
An individual apparently well versed in the ranking of demonic manifestations
Oh boy.
responded to Quarter's post writing, quote, "Not seeing the footage, I'm going to take your word that it isn't an insect. Your description seems very clear. It is very likely a lower level dark entity, though I'm not so sure it isn't. Oh, excuse me. It is a mimic. He's dubious about the mimic, but he's pretty sure it's a
Yeah.
lower level dark entity.
Well, I mean, the mimic. I'm not sure why you would like if it was mimicking you.
Well, apparently
or is it
there's a
mimicking
plethora
something?
of people and alleged sightings of shapeless things that like use your dead grandma's voice.
I've
or
heard.
fucking whatever.
We've actually had cases like that that we've
did,
covered.
like,
Yeah,
speci-
for sure.
Like a mimic that fucked up and became two different people in this person's family, like his mom and his sister. Remember?
Yeah,
While he's laying
yeah.
on the couch trying to be cool, but shitting his pants.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
All right. So this is a lower level dark entity.
that's what is said.
Not maybe they might not have the power to fully form corporeally on the video.
Well done, sir.
Yeah.
Look
like
at
that?
you.
There
Oh,
you
you
go.
just leveled up.
I
Okay.
did. Whoop,
Wow.
there you
I'm
go.
not sure how that works, but okay.
Yeah. You don't have to
You
know
don't
how
have
it
to.
works.
No, but it still
just
made
so-
sense.
Baby, it just sounds good.
Wow.
It just sounds good.
Look at that sexy mouth. Keep talking.
Come on, baby. It sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
So we're going to continue on this. What Rhubarb Flat was saying. Now, it is very okay. Where is that? I wouldn't necessarily rule it out that being a mimic, But in my experience, amorphous blobs can be any of the lower dark entities. Mimics, which are low levels, try very hard not to be seen in their natural form and are usually first encountered when they mimic a loved one's voice, as we just mentioned.
Okay.
That's how they inspire the fear they feed on. They have enough intelligence to learn, so I don't doubt they've learned about security cameras and try to avoid them. There's no particular reason to be afraid of mimics, though some cultures see them as portents of death. And if I ever hear a random scream, and I'm pretty sure it's a bird, and we don't have like fucking wild primates, obviously, we're upstate fucking New York.
Yeah.
There's always a little tiny Irish part of me that's like, hope that's not a banshee. Better not be a fucking banshee.
Well, yeah.
Don't want anyone to die. Yeah. God damn it. Because the Irish runs deep.
I would never think of that. I didn't know that was the thing that the
if
Irish...
you hear the scream of the banshee,
Yeah,
it's
dude,
Fucksville.
what are you
For
doing?
you, loved one, somebody.
I didn't know. I've heard that before, but I didn't think that was something that like current day Irish are concerned about.
I can't speak for Ireland, despite my wristband. I do not have the privilege of speaking for the entire nation.
If you're Irish by heritage and you're here in America, like, is this a common thing that I just don't know about?
No, it's a thing that paranormalist jackasses like me, who have fucking read too much folklore, hear something and think. That's why I don't like curses. I don't necessarily scientifically believe in them, but I think you can psych yourself out to the point where you're fucked.
Well, yeah.
You know what though? Better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah.
Don't technically believe in demons. Don't fuck with demons.
If you don't have to, you don't have to.
Why take a chance?
There you go.
You can be all lofty with your fucking intellectual bullshit about how it's not real when you're trying to impress somebody at a party. That's fine. But in real life, you don't fuck around.
That's right. When you're alone in the dark with yourself.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, there's better things to do.
Well, just saying.
Digressions. Okay. Let me find my place. So they learned about security cameras. They're potentially portents of death.
Yep.
He goes on to say, or she, Rhubarb Flat, they're basically brats. Like most low levels, they don't have the strength to stand up to someone who has a strong connection to the light, capital L, as you clearly do. Low levels are opportunists. Keep your faith strong and they will stay away and won't cause you any trouble, end quote. So I guess if you see some low level fucking demony shit, just
throw some words of Jesus at it and be like, call it a day.
Bring the Almighty in.
Yeah.
Invoke some shit in their name.
In the name of Yahweh, the master of all that shreds.
Well, let's not add too much. You add too much and they know you're fucking lying.
I don't know.
Because he's not a skater. He might be.
If you really believe it, then it should work.
Damn it.
I mean, do you believe it?
In the name of Gundam Wing.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not.
If these things are real
connections.
and they are intimidated, because humans have to be pretty scary. Like if monsters are real, I'm talking like supernatural monsters, not cryptids.
Right, yeah.
And they exist in our world. They're not slaughtering us wholesale. They're keeping it pretty clandestine. And I know I'm wildly speculating here. That must mean, in my opinion, that we're not quite as weak as we think we are. Like if we faced a dogman or a werewolf, it's fucking done time. But for the most part, so I would think that if you stand up to something with like loud belief and bravado, like a bird puffing up, and if it happens to be a faith you believe in, I suppose you can lend to your confidence. I think that would be enough to fucking back this thing down.
Spiritual warfare.
You just get loud and big. You know, like when you see a bear, put your arms out, heft up, Hulk out.
If you're like me, get a selfie with it.
Yeah, well, fucking you and bears.
Send it on its way.
Oh, my God.
Send me on my way.
That same month, back to the story, Give No Quarter added to their account claiming, quote, I've been resetting my cameras for optimal clarity. They're very clear and of exceptional quality. I didn't expect what I saw. My daughter and I have a number of paranormal experiences here. Some we accepted. Others I've taken various measures to push them along. Some more verbal banishing, maybe a sage, crucifix, I don't know.
Yeah, wow, okay.
This was the only one that gave me a sense of fear. I'm glad I was able to do what I did. You never know how you'll react till you do. I've also had a paranormal jokester at a known firehouse station pull my covers down twice. I asked him to give me a break. We had been getting our butts kicked and were exhausted. Apparently a fireman.
Yeah, so you go to work at the local fire station and you got a paranormal prankster taking your
little poltergeist.
Yeah, he.
Yep.
I see your dink, and then takes your thing out your whole blanket off.
You know, you're covered in soot and you're fucking tired. You save some lives. You don't need this shit.
Hopefully you clean up before you go lay in the bed.
It depends how tired you are. If it's like
the
third fire of the night.
Boys, we're hitting the shower.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, all right. If the captain says so. Scrub his back. Do whatever you got to do. I don't know fireman etiquette.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we'd be a great volunteer for our department, the three of us.
Oh my!
Fuck yeah, that's for Patreon.
Yeah,
continue.
That's fucking nuts. Okay. We had the station blessed again. I can feel the energy, the heightened energy when someone physical is hiding in a dark room. So I get another person.
All over the place.
Yeah. I could go on and on. I've become aware of this ability, but no better than to push my luck as I don't know enough. And that's key. Don't fuck around.
No,
you can feel, I mean, I feel, there's times I want to like dance naked in a fucking crater on Skinwalker Ranch and just see what happens. But then there's the rational part of me that A, I can never get on. I don't know anybody there. And B, that's just dumb.
You'd probably get shot.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't steal onto the ranch. I would get professional help to get in. I lost
then get naked and dance.
Yeah, and then I get naked and dance in a hole. You got to dig the hole to invoke the spirits.
Okay.
If there's one thing the fucking show proves time and time again, and I don't know why I still watch that fucking thing, is that fully adult men love to blow rockets and fucking do fucking rock and roll light shows and hope that there's a light popping up in the sky. Usually there is, so I'll give it that. Like most paranormal shows, you don't get shit, or you get a dust orb. Like at least here you occasionally see a fuking UAP.
Yeah, man.
But it's still like, oh my God. Another rocket launch? Are you guys just having fun? I mean, where's the beer?
we're just launching rockets and ripping missiles.
You know what they're not doing?
What's that?
Dancing naked in a hole.
Not yet.
That's how Uncle Bobby brings the fucking interdimensionals.
That could be next season. Bobby.
I think I slurred that word up a little.
It's okay.
Interdimensionals.
Interdimensionals.
That's how I use my unmentionables.
Intro dimensionals.
Yeah.
All right.
So he doesn't know enough, and I have no intention on capitalizing on it. So he's aware of his psychic powers, but he's not going to fuck around. He's not going to try to make money.
I get it.
Because, you get in too deep. If you're a good little leaguer, doesn't mean, you can make it in AAA.
No, man. You got to just stay in your lane, buddy.
Is that a simile or a metaphor?
I'm not sure.
Based on his statements going on, it's clear that Give No Quarter is 1, open to metaphysical interpretations of unexplained events, and 2, will counterbalance what he perceives to be negative supernatural forces through the use of his faith. As to how much his personal belief dynamic protects from / feeds into these forces is open to speculation. But I would think that both skeptics and believers would suggest that there is very good reason to be wary. Skeptics probably would be like, you're just fucking playing into your fucking fears and weirdness, and the more you believe this shit, the more you're going to see shit.
Yeah.
And fucking, paranormalists would probably be more like, you could be feeding into the shit for real, and you're going to fuck yourself.
Well, yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah, I guess it's a two-way street there.
So we got a front porch blob, three prongs, disappeared.
And the guy and his daughter apparently are having other encounters. So maybe just
wife too.
And the wife too. Yeah. So maybe just by putting these cameras there, you're kind of like unearthing like whatever is whatever haunting poltergeist situation is happening in your house. You just kind of like unearthed it, and then he goes into this whole other. He clearly, if you believe in this type of stuff, this guy is just like super open.
Sure.
Maybe a little too open.
Maybe
a little bit.
That can open up, super belief.
Maybe close the door a little bit.
Can, I suppose, give an opportunity to things that want to fucking corrupt you.
Yeah.
Or they see you as more of a challenge if there really are evil entities out there, which I'm not saying. Again, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sort of neutral on the demon thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good that he knows his own,
boundaries.
By his own boundaries, his own spiritual boundaries.
Sure.
So, do what you got to do, protect yourself.
Absolutely.
Enjoy your firehouse and have a nice retirement one day.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Safe and sound.
There it is.
There it is.
I love it.
Our second strange encounter was also published on Reddit sometime in 2022 by a user named Mind Your Business. That's UR and business with Z's.
I love it.
Yep.
Nice.
Who wrote about their run-in with a quote-unquote black floating blob, indicating that, at least for some of these formless fiends, gravity is no obstacle. Now we're adding powers. Now we're starting to study them from different angles. Or not, maybe, because it could be something completely different. We'll find out. MYB wrote, late one night, I was driving home on the highway around 1 to 2 a.m. The moon was out, but it was cloudy, so the sky was that dark gray color. I remember looking up while I was driving and seeing what looked like a black garbage bag stuck on a telephone wire, blowing in the wind. But I remember thinking, that's odd, because that line would be way too low over this highway. I had driven that part of the highway hundreds of times. I was driving at about 60 miles per hour, and the black blob wasn't moving as I got closer. Then I noticed that the black garbage bag, quote unquote, was moving in a more fluid motion than a bag blowing in the wind. It looked like a blob of oil hovering in one spot, kind of like a lava lamp. So that's interesting, like a free-floating three-dimensional puddle.
Yeah.
In the sky. lower than the power lines or phone lines or whatever the fuck lines are.
like an aerial oil slick.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Like something like that would really throw you for a loop because you look at it and it would seem familiar if you saw it on a road or whatever.
Right.
But you're like, or a lava lamp. So you're used to the form, but
not
the function of it floating in the fucking
hovering,
sky
it's weird.
and not apparently attached to anything. Then you're like, fuck.
Yeah, that's weird. All
Man,
right.
I'm swearing a lot today, but it's all right.
I've been doing pretty good.
You're doing great.
I've been doing pretty
You know, your daughter's got to be really proud.
I mean, I've been keeping...
Does she screen the shows?
No, she's not allowed to listen to this. My God.
Thank God is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My God, no. Not my baby.
I know.
Not my princess.
I try to keep my tongue when
It's
I'm
okay.
around your kids. You know that.
It happens, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes
But
we
uncles
swear.
slip and swear. That is an uncle's province. No, not provenance.
Provenance?
No, provenance. No. What's the thing? The thing you're allowed to do.
I don't
The
know.
thing you're allowed to
I'm
do.
not sure.
Prerogative?
His-
Privilege.
Oh, the
or
privilege.
prerogative.
Yeah.
Yes, those
Okay,
were
yeah.
the words I was looking
My
for.
prerogative. I can do what I want. All right, cool.
Yeah, if Bobby Brown says it,
Yeah.
come on.
Oh, all right.
Jesus Christ, losing words. Yeah, I know.
Well,
Bob Uecker, come on.
Ah, jeez.
Jesus Christ. Sissy SpaceX. Let's keep going.
Bob Hope. Jeez, all right.
All right, that's been a bit. That's been a bit. All right. I don't have time to mourn for that. Don Knotts. Oh,
I know, right?
Christopher Columbus, that
And
shithead.
Magellan.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Ferdinand
God.
Magellan.
Oh my God.
America was
That was a
Vespucci.
wonderful night.
Dude, America.
Was that Vespucci?
Who's giving him love?
Nobody gives a shit.
I wish our country was called the United States of Vespucci.
Why would
Fun to spell.
Oh, Vespuccia.
man.
All right, fucking, I know. Got to
Lava-
stay on target.
Lava lamp, buddy.
Lava lamp.
Lava lamp.
I'm finding it. There it is. It also kind of looked like the robes from a Dementor in Harry Potter.
Ooh.
And those were weirdly undulating. They also looked like the things from Lord of the Rings.
The Witch King?
The Witch Kings?
The Witch, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever they were. It had the icky, like, moving without wind kind of quality to it,
Oh, totally.
I think. Okay, so it's fucking yuck. Find him, please. Okay. This was a few miles from a huge outlet mall in Chicago, Illinois. Chicago Premium Outlets, which I recommend shopping at if you get a chance.
There you go.
Not that I know anything about it. And I was the only car I saw driving in both directions. I was lost in thought for a few seconds after trying to comprehend what I saw. I didn't feel any fear, but was really mind-effed trying to put together what I saw. Definitely was the oddest thing I've ever seen in my life, end quote. Not definitively knowing if there was an actual line draped across the road makes it impossible to fully dismiss the theory that it was nothing more than a random bit of detritus caught on a cable billowing eerily in the wind. But based on the eyewitness's assertion that no line would dangle that low over the highway, and the uncannily organic way the thing seemed to move, lends credence, Jesus Christ, to the possibility that this was less likely to be an optical illusion and more likely to be a genuine apparition, the nature of which we can only guess at with the information available. Interestingly, and it does take kind of an interesting turn, in response to Mind Your Business's post, a user named FPS Pandawa?
Yeah, internet acronyms.
Yeah.
I don't even know, man.
Yep.
It's weird.
Responded with their own unusual sighting, quote, "This happened to me on a drive in Barrington, Illinois. My story is exactly like this down to the small details. I've also been describing it to people as a sort of lava lamp moving thing as well. For me, the blob wasn't pitch black. It was almost transparent and kind of like ghostly or something like that was supposed to be invisible to me. So maybe translucent. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It looked like it was passing through the woods, and we saw it by crossing paths. I don't know if this was some Native American spiritual stuff or like some sort of alien stuff." Adding, "I'm still blown away. What the fuck did me and my friend really witness?" End quote. Mind Your Business responded in kind, writing, "Barrington is only 30 miles north of where I saw my floating black blob. Interesting. I could never begin to assume what it was, but when I play it back in my mind, it kind of looked like a portal maybe. A tear in the space-time continuum. Definitely just pitch black, abyss-like." End quote. The last addendum makes one consider the possibility that the hovering, unstructured object might not be an unidentified animate thing, but a portal through which another, perhaps even less explicable organism might pass through. With such limited info, it's at least food for thought. So Again, is this a quantum physics or super physics anomaly? I don't know.
You know, when the whole black, like the lava lamp was sort of like described, I was thinking like sky critters. Like that, sort of like the whole amoeba thing that we covered a couple of times.
Yeah, it comes down, eats the homeless.
Yeah.
Or whatever the guy was talking about.
It's just, they're up there and they're these weird, like, there's also the one, the sky arrays that chased that car. I think it was in like New Jersey or maybe Virginia or something like that.
I think Jersey. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I remember, the
weird
sky rays.
flying sky amoeba
and the
type
super
things.
clams that were one of the gargantuan gliders.
Yes, gargantuan
where
gliders.
fucking blimps first became a thing for the podcast.
Yes. Yeah, and which actually, for this, I don't want to do this.
Okay.
I know it's early in the year.
Yeah.
I don't want to start throwing blimps on the table.
Okay.
But
we
have to keep in mind, okay, homemade blimps.
Oh, God damn it.
From blimp enthusiasts.
All right.
We know that there's...
It's on the table, okay?
There's weather balloon enthusiasts. There's also people that make little tiny miniature things of blimps.
Devil, diabetes, Mark's fucking homemade blimps.
Yeah, my homemade blimp, yeah.
All there on the table.
Amateur blimping.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds dirty.
It does sound dirty,
yeah.
doesn't it?
I mean,
did you ever get blimped?
Yeah. Ever get a good blimp and you're like, no, don't want to know what this is.
Thank you.
No, I'm going to get put in a list.
Oh, boy.
All right,
here we go. Sub? Okay. All right. Our third case, moving on, comes to us from the vast archives of Phantoms and Monsters, where on December 7th, 2023, a brief statement appeared under the headline, Illinois state worker experiences danger and panic from unknown entity, all caps. The event involved a government employee who, while on the job near the turn of the millennia, had an encounter which he would never forget. What follows is a transcript from a video labeled, on YouTube that is, terrifying experiences and a follow-up on Dr. Ketchum and I on the YouTube channel, The Facts by howtohunt.com. So that's the channel.
Actually, I know this channel. It's funny.
Yeah.
Just from Phantoms and Monsters articles, I definitely have been here to this channel.
Definitely, I've seen some Bigfooty things.
Yeah,
I'm not
for sure.
I've not done like a scholarly dive.
No, they're everywhere.
Yeah. They're interesting.
It's actually a pretty fun channel. You should go and subscribe to them. It's
absolutely. The experiencer claimed, quote, I've never told this story before, not even to my two best friends or my closest family members. I want you to know if I see weird shit, you guys are going to be the first to know.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you guys all the time.
I will tell my best friends.
I send you a video, and then I let you guys know that it could be a balloon, and I hope it's not.
Right. Mylar's the enemy now. Mylar is the enemy of ufologists everywhere.
Totally
Those fuckers from a distance are so captivating.
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
sons of a bitch.
Fuck you, Mylar.
There we go.
Okay. Fuck. All right. So, all right. The Illinois state worker, he's there. Howtohunt.com. Okay. The experiencer claimed, quote, oh, yeah, never told the story, not even to his best friends. The experience happened in the early summer of 2002 in the Mississippi River Valley in the state of Illinois, which, I mean, just like the Ohio Valley river system, just fucking full of weird shit. Like they just clog it. They're migrating constantly.
It's the water, dude.
Yeah, it's the water. Some in the water.
The water is the portal.
Hey, I mean, if you're going to hide a portal, if it's like go through the portal, hold your breath for like 30 seconds, pop up and do your thing.
Quartz.
Perfect place to hide it. Yeah, okay. There's quartz in the water, too.
Tainted quartz.
Okay.
There it is.
Tainted quartz. Fucking
Tainted.
Modern English.
There it is.
Okay, fuck. Now I got to find, I'm almost finding my place here. I was a government employee at the time, so I'll keep the place and specifics vague, the way I always say it, for the sake, not fucking vague, for the sake of people that have to live around these things. So why are you keeping it quiet? If the people live around these things, you think they'd want fucking their attention brought to it so they can protect their fucking kids.
Yeah, you also don't want like a war in your backyard, though.
No, I suppose. All right, and monster hunts can be a thing again. Like America has lost its will to have one single newspaper article trigger a mass fucking riot of youths and hunters and fucking the elderly and fucking fold-out chairs all on the roadside looking for, like, say, the headless horror of Grafton.
Yeah.
Or fucking mill race monster, one of those fucking great old 70s, Momo, whatever. But, I mean, maybe it's time it's happening again.
Only time will tell.
I mean, I would be, like, get a giddy thrill to be involved in that. Just to be out there with all the hubbub, like a carnival atmosphere.
Dude.
I just hope nobody gets shot, but it'd be fascinating to experience that firsthand. Like, if I could fucking time travel, I think I'd go to every fucking impromptu posse that went looking for a fucking semi-famous monster. Like, it wouldn't be top 3. I'd see dinosaurs first.
Jesus, what he's going to do with the ability. I love it.
I'd high-five Jesus.
I love it. All right, cool.
I'd sit with the Buddha for a minute. But then, Momo, watch out.
High-five the J.
Oh, God. You gotta.
Here we go. We're back on track, Bob.
All right. Help me out here. All right. I was 2 months into the job, fully enjoying being the new guy in a new part of the country that I'd never seen before. On that day, my job was to do a biological survey on a dry riverbed. It was a boat ramp used to access the area when water was present. I parked my government work truck with the nose toward the riverbed and the boat ramp to my left. I got out of the truck, took several steps ahead to look around the area, and made a plan on how to start my survey. After about a minute, I was suddenly hit with a sense of immediate danger. It was tangible and it was physical. I could feel the sensation smack into my left shoulder and slide across my skin, across my chest from left to right. That's very specific. Like I've been hit with sudden fear or an instinctive fucking a tensing and an adrenaline, but I've never actually felt it course over my epidermis directionally. Which is not to say it doesn't happen to some people, but it's really interesting.
Yes. Yeah, it's weird.
He goes on to say, like being shot with a jet of water from a fire hose. The danger felt like it was coming from knee level or lower. Holy fuck! What is it? This guy fucking full on Spidey sense?
Yeah, really. I mean,
like I never know the angle.
Like he's like doing like
my shins are in jeopardy.
Like just like backpedaling or something. Like,
oh yeah, no,
mind.
he'll be fucking doing that. That's sure. Yeah, so it's fucked up. Okay.
Yeah, it's so strange.
And I backpedaled in an unexplained sudden panic. I kept my knees bent and my arms forward because I was sure I was being charged by a vicious stray dog that I'd never seen or heard. Weird instinct, but I guess if it's happened before, maybe that's caught in your craw.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, for sure.
Once safely back in the truck of the cab, Jesus Christ, the truck cab, not the truck of the fucking cab, I looked around for the dog that I was sure had to be there, and I saw nothing. After about 3 minutes of confusion and adrenaline burn-off, I had no explanation for what had just happened. I laughed to myself for being silly, and I tell myself I have a job to do, so get out and go do it. America.
Fuck yeah.
I get out for a second time, and I step forward to my original standing spot to decide how I'm going to start the survey. I again get hit with this fire hose of danger from my toes to the top of my head, full body this time, everywhere. I do the same, running fast, backpedaling, and I get back into the truck cab. Both times the feeling disappeared the instant the truck door slammed shut. I'm really spooked. My hands are trembling on the steering wheel. I'm asking myself if I'm having a heart attack or an allergic reaction. I sit there for 7 or 8 minutes trying to recompose myself. I punch the dash in frustration and tell myself to get my butt out there and do my job. You've got a fucking government work truck, buddy.
I mean, you're union. Don't worry. We'll take care of you.
Yeah, you're safe.
It'll be all right.
But he's the new guy. Doesn't want to look
Don't
like
matter.
a poobah.
Don't matter. We're going to take care of our own. Don't
I already
worry.
punched the dashboard. If he cracked it, you know he's going to get shit.
That's nothing, dude.
All right.
Believe me.
Your city work, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. It goes right. It's funny. I was the new guy and did not want to be seen as unreliable. See, just what we were saying.
All right, it's okay.
I get out of the truck a third time and step forward to my original standing spot. Now, everything that follows is happening in a split-second sequence, and it'll take longer to explain than it did to experience. I like that. I like that specificity. That's what you want in an eyewitness. The moment my foot stepped into my original standing spot, I got hit with a 100% blast of the fire hose of danger feeling. Fire hose of danger is now going to be permanently in my head.
The fire hose of danger might be my new favorite thing.
Jesus Christ. I mean, absolute primitive fear and anger, like standing on a high-tension bridge that is collapsing with you on it, or standing in front of an avalanche of snow in the last 4 seconds before it hits you. My legs were running before my mind knew what I was running from. As I spun around and ran for the truck cab, I was saying in a panic to myself in that internal cussing voice, get in the damn truck. So fucking full on panic.
Yeah.
By my second or third step, I see something in my peripheral vision. To my right, it was just past 3 o'clock, and about 20 feet away, there was an unnatural brown color like a Crayola crayon. It was a pear-shaped blob, 5.5 feet tall, in the shape and size of a squatting heavyweight sumo wrestler. That's fucking a sight.
Yeah, okay.
5.5 feet? That's fairly big.
Looking like Yokozuna? Oh, damn.
All I saw was a brown blob, but it clearly stood out from the surrounding nature. I could feel a presence as strong and powerful as a short-tempered rodeo bull. Oh, thing's radiating fucking anger.
Man.
In a split second, I grab the door handle. I clearly hear it say in the same voice, leave now, leave this place.
It spoke?
It spoke.
Oh, no, dude.
You don't know if it's telepathic or if the thing just had like a little fucking slimy mouth going, dude, get the fuck out.
Leave now.
Exactly.
Leave this place.
Oh, it's a perfect voice.
Yeah,
You get it. You get the job in the anime.
Oh, thank you.
It was stern, commanding, and calm, with none of the panic that was flooding through my mind. So just firm and like, fucking go. I've given you fucking, this is the third time. Doing his damnedest to remain calm, he managed to start the engine of his truck, throw it in gear, and drive as far away from the amorphous monstrosity as humanly possible. As a final thought, the man claimed that, quote, I calmed down enough to safely drive home and call it a day, end quote. In reference to the uncanny incident, Lon Strickler added, the proprietor of Phantoms and Monsters, if you don't know, quote, this is an interesting experience. Was it an intuitive response to real danger? Was it an intuitive response to real danger? Did the witness create a thought form as a result of his sense of danger? Could it have been a cloaked cryptid or unknown energy? End quote. All questions, and I would say all valid questions,
Okay.
which would, as is so often the case, remain unanswered. But I didn't think of it maybe as a cloaked cryptid or what's egregore? I'm trying to remember that because it's not a tulpa. We've been schooled. The thought form is the.
It would be.
I'm naming dragons now. I don't remember.
Yeah. And,
No, that's Aragon.
yeah, that's Aragon. It would be
Egregore?
It would be an egregore.
Okay.
Yeah. Naming dragon.
Really, it's fucking confusing. So, I mean, that would not be my first thought that your
So
fear
dumb.
is manifesting as like a sumo turd. But who the fuck knows?
It is giving him direction to leave. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, whatever was there that was scaring him, it was enough that he twice is jumping back and freaking out into the truck.
Absolutely. Well, I'll wrap it up with this then. In terms of the palpable amount of fear experienced by the surveyor, one can't help but to wonder if it was his innate survival instinct kicking in while in the presence of a very odd but undeniably insidious seeming anyway, predator. Or conversely, was this corpulent thing trying to warn this fellow life form about another danger lurking in the area? In Close Encounters of the Third Kind, not the movie, but the literal phenomenon, it's not unheard of for alien entities to try to warn away incognizant humans who may be in danger from either radiation exposure or due to their craft's propulsion mechanisms or any number of things. They're just like, get the fuck out. Or like even Travis Walton's like, I think it zapped me unintentionally and it brought me on the ship to fucking save my life.
Yeah, they tried to like repair his ass.
There's a lot of cases like that. Or people like in a car accident and they get removed at the last second.
Right.
It's fucking weird. And you'd hope it'd do it more often, but I guess you just have to be lucky in there. So is it like, well, I'll just keep reading. Maybe the brown blob, whatever it might be and from wherever it originated, was simply trying to scare this person away from an unsafe spot. And when the human stubbornly refused to leave for the third time, it finally and explicitly instructed him to leave now, leave this place. Perhaps before it was too late. It's hard to know, but one likes to assume the best in these situations. So maybe it wasn't even at all. Maybe there's another fucking thing there. Maybe a more evil fucking entity. Some flipper-assed fuck-all that like sleeps under the dry bed and fucking hates to be woken up and this thing's like,
or
don't you fucking know? Go.
If he just happened to stumble upon this weird, bizarre creature that talks.
Maybe telepathically. We don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
I wish it said if it had a
talking
mouth or
the
not.
talking is odd. That makes me think like, is this like? I mean, we don't have cryptids that talk. I don't think. Not saying they couldn't. Do cryptids talk?
Most of them, like cryptids traditionally, from the zoological,
Generally speaking,
cryptozoological
yeah.
perspective, are just unknown animals, not necessarily sentient life forms.
I'm going through my
well,
mind.
sentient in the sense that they are aware of themselves.
Did
I suppose
Mothman ever
self-aware.
talk?
Yeah.
Did Flatwoods talk? Nothing ever talked. Never happened.
Well, I mean, the haystack talked,
Oh, the haystack. That's right.
but
it did
that's
talk.
more of like an occult paranormal-y thing, or magic
Yeah.
alien or something.
And
It's a-
Mothman just conveyed feelings of sadness and alone.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I
sat
started
on the
thinking
roof.
about.
Yeah,
I can't picture the
scared.
Mothman now without seeing him hunched down in the rain
Same.
on the
Yeah.
corner of
He's
House.
big
bald,
bomb.
And
man.
Linda Scarberry, I think, was just looking at him from the window, writing in her diary, wearing like a pink gown, going,
Turn
"Oh, he's so sad."
around.
Every now and then.
All
It's
right.
really true.
On
Total
to-
eclipse of the Mothman, buddy.
On to our last encounter.
Yes,
Robert.
indubitely. Our fourth and final encounter comes to us all the way from the People's Republic of Bangladesh. I think this is our first time venturing here.
I think it is too.
Nestled in South Asia on the Bay of Bengal. Shit. So I'm gonna get in my head with this. The Bay of Bengal.
Egg, vague, stalk,
I know.
wall.
Centaur. Not far from Nepal, Bhutan, and China, Bangladesh is a nation surrounded almost entirely by neighboring India while sharing a small border with Myanmar. I know how to say it. Myanmar. Jesus Christ. I know how to say this fucking country.
Yeah, you were there, dude.
Myanmar. I have not been there. I've not been there. Wasn't that formerly Burma a long time ago?
Do not know.
Myanmar. All right, Myanmar to the southeast. Sorry if I mispronounced
Just
it.
Myanmar?
No, I have not been there.
Gotcha.
A country already rich in folklore and phantasmagorical figures, this allegedly true encounter has to rank among the weirdest on the books. On September 22nd, 2024, a young adult writing under the username Neanderthunder.
I like it, Neanderthunder.
It's pretty hard. Like if that should be a truck with big tires crushing fucking cars at a fucking rally.
Yeah.
Some demolition derby somewhere.
Neanderthunder.
And it's got like fucking caveman brows like molded on.
Hell yeah.
Oh, it'd be badass.
Love it.
Posted a truly bizarre report on the website yourghoststories.com under the intriguing header, and this is a fucking truly weird one, music from the other world. I'm expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
In a Blobby episode.
I know. Okay. It's fascinating.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah. You're going to love it, Chris. And if not, you're at least going to be intrigued.
We'll see.
Yeah, you're right. I was bold. I was bold with that one.
Yeah.
Should not have proclaimed
You should not
his
have.
future love.
Oh, you love this. I'm like,
because he already hates it now.
yeah.
I fucked up.
You know,
did.
we're contrarians, and somebody tells us.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone tells me eat your
It's
ice cream.
gonna be the
it's
opposite.
Like, fuck you. Give me broccoli.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm moving my mic. I gotta tighten it. There we go.
That dude. It's we got some goblin talk coming up.
Yeah,
so
we do.
yeah.
Yeah, some fucking around here. All right,
here we go.
So, music from another world.
Yep.
To make matters even stranger, the young witness would attest that the music sounded not unlike, get this, an ancient orchestra playing bits from Ennio Morricone's iconic whistle and jaw harp infused score for Sergio Leone's 1965 Western masterpiece for a few dollars more. Easily heard on YouTube. It's a lot of, juice harps is what we used to call them, jaw harps. Apparently, they have a lot of names. And whistling, and the thing that we indelibly associate with that genre.
That's good direction so far.
Okay, all right. It sounds
so, but like with old timey like instruments. We'll get into that in a second here. In his report, Neanderthunder, who will not stop loving that name, wrote, "This is one of a kind weird. Last year, June, Silent City, that's SYLHET, sorry, I lost my place there, in case you're going to do research on it. The room I was renting had an attached bathroom and balcony." I'm not going to get into that word. Balcony. Oh, fuck. Why read for a living and I just fucking find new words that I've said my whole
balcony.
Balcony. That's how you say it. You say balcony.
It's balcony. Yeah.
Just sometimes I'll see an old word familiar and I just be like, what? It's balcony. It's clearly balcony. Hey, let's go on the balcony and have a little romantic toast to our love.
The incredible egg.
Jesus Christ, what's wrong? Oh my God, I'm fucking having a stroke.
It's okay.
All right. Bathroom and balcony, easy peasy.
There you go.
The specific layout isn't totally relevant. One night, I went into the bathroom and realized there's a faint sound of music. Couldn't pin what the music was. Sounded like conch shells, but the pitch would go as high as a flute sometimes. I'm no expert in music, so I really can't communicate it probably as well as you would like. All I can say is that it sounded old school, like a few dollars more, but far less upbeat and played with different instruments. So real fucking down. Because, I mean, Morricone scores are usually like either, well, they're sometimes somber, like in The Thing, but a lot of times like peppy, weird, but sort of ominous.
Okay.
So it's really fascinating imagining what he's hearing. Like, I would like to put it to AI, what conch shells and flutes and fucking weird old instruments doing a variation on a Morricone score would be. It probably wouldn't be anything like it, but anyway. For that moment, I didn't pay it much mind. All kinds of external noises get echoed inside the bathroom at night, and it's probably a pretty happening city, wherever. I forget, Silhit. Thank you. As the days went by, the young man went about his business, all but forgetting about this odd musical interlude until he, quote, heard it again 2 days later while taking a bath. Electricity was tenuous, and I was bathing with bucket and mug to conserve water. That's when I heard that sound. When I bent down to get another mug of water, it got louder and louder until I had my head in the bucket and the sound was very clear, very loud all around me. It sounded for a good 3 or 4 minutes before it disappeared. I finished bathing.
Man, head in the bucket.
Head in the bucket, full concert.
Birthday suit, full concert.
Yeah, scrubbing down.
All right, nice.
And just fucking jamming out. Because 3 to 4 minutes, you're head in a bucket. That's not a short period of time.
Yeah, you're just naked with a mug and your head in a bucket. And you're like, man, this guy's jamming.
I mean,
This is nice.
what are you going to do?
Yeah. All right.
Just fun at home.
I don't even know what to say.
It's a weird afternoon, man.
The next time I heard it, in the middle of bathing, I got out of the bathroom and got my phone to record it. I set it to record and held it inside the bucket. At that moment, something in the bucket moved. Fucking trouble ahead. Yeah. Water splashed there like there was a fish in there. Water splashed like there was a fish in there, okay? And we've all felt that. We've all fished in the day. That distinctly animate, swishy, like, fuck, something's alive.
Yeah,
Not that I'm ever surprised. Like, every time I had a fish in a bucket, I was aware of it.
Yeah, but not in a bucket I'm bathing with.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever bathed with a bucket, but if I had to, I wouldn't
That's
want
playing its own
anything-
fucking music.
Yeah. All right.
So, yeah. At that moment, something, oh, I already said that. I need to point out that I was not touching the bucket, and neither was there an earthquake, but it jump scared me, and I shot back, and the phone slipped from my hand into the water. When I retrieved it, it wouldn't turn on. Later, I got it repaired, but no recording was there. Again, probably it's a very tenuous connection, but not being on. I mean, it could have been, I don't know how phones work. I don't know if you lose things if you get your phone repaired and it got water damaged.
If you have to replace the hard drive on it, maybe. I
don't know
There's
either.
plenty of ways that I'm sure you could lose it. Though.
I wish to God that we
Yeah.
had a recording of this music.
Yeah, no, I would love to hear this.
I know.
What the fuck's in the bucket, man?
Yeah. It's fucking,
Yeah, I'm confused. This is
Yeah, the bucket
I don't even
scares
know
me
what-
now,
What is
like-
happening right now?
we'll get there.
All right.
Now afraid of what he might be dealing with, instead of just dumping the bucket to see if some small, highly talented varmint just waddled out, the witness decided instead to, quote, avoid using my bathroom the next day. But you can't really avoid using the bathroom for long. I eventually had to use the toilet, and the day after the next, I heard the music again. This time, however, it angered me because my life was disrupted because of this, and I smelled awful now. Yeah, 3 days of city living, it's going to do it to you.
Yeah, you're
Especially if
gonna
it's
stink.
summer. Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, just piss in the bucket.
Yeah.
Just figure it out.
See what happens.
There you go.
At wit's end, the experiencer finally decided to lash out and kicked the bucket over, whereupon he received the shock of his young life. Quote, water did not flow out of it. Instead, it rolled out like a lump of gelatinous material. The water he'd been bathing in for God knows how long.
Oh, man, that's gross.
I got panicked feeling that it was looking at me. The room started to get colder by the second. It seemed to try to stand up as it elongated vertically. But around 3 feet on its way, something seemed to throw it out of harmony, and it collapsed onto the bathroom floor and spread out like normal water does. The room immediately got normal temperature, and my glasses fogged. So it's fucking rolling. It's got some meat on its bones, proverbially. It starts reaching
It's
up at like
starting to-
3 fucking feet.
It's starting to stand up.
And then it just
Something.
kind of, I mean, I see it again like 80s special effects. Like
Right,
it
where it's-
vibrates, and,
yeah,
or even
there's-
90s, like T2. And
Right.
then just,
Oh, yeah.
No, that's the
but
deal.
not mercury, water, obviously.
Yeah.
It's
Huh.
fucking, it's very vivid.
Yeah, you're washing with that thing.
You wash with it.
It's gross.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Not sure what to make of the rubbery thing or the container it called home, the man, quote, threw the bucket in the garbage heap that very afternoon, adding, I haven't had that particular paranormal experience ever since, which I don't know opens the door to what else, but fucking,
You don't ever
Poor dude.
want to have that, man.
well, that was almost certainly a relief for the experiencer. For the rest of us, this leaves reams of unanswered questions. First and foremost, what the fuck was it? I mean, a gelatinous organic substance that can roll and stretch up to 3 feet in height, apparently of its own accord? What the hell can do that, and why music? Hell, was it even music? Could it have been the thing's voice, maybe? Was it trying to communicate with its interspecies roommate, maybe lay down the ground rules for bathroom etiquette, like, for example, don't wash your balls with my body?
I mean,
Gotta have ground rules with roommates. You can love them,
That's great.
but it's not always easy.
Stop washing.
Yeah, stop scooping me.
You're scrubbing your ass with my face.
Yeah, your whale eye does not make for a fucking really fun encounter.
All right.
So, just things might be happening.
Jesus.
Or could this be the wrong approach? Maybe this wasn't some kind of sentient, jelly-like marvel, be it alien, cryptid, or paranatural, but merely a case of a haunted bucket trying to possess the water. So dumb, but it's out there.
The haunted bucket.
Haunted bucket. I mean, you gotta look at all the
No, yeah, I
things.
like it. I like a haunted bucket. It sounds cool.
Or maybe it's a rare example of a hydrogeist, which have been seen from time to time.
I like a good hydrogeist.
Yeah, they do love like water play.
Yeah.
Fucking golden showers.
Jesus Christ.
Piss on your poltergeist.
We talked about that earlier.
Bad.
Jesus Christ.
Bad advice. Don't
Yeah,
do that.
Don't do that.
Okay. Sorry.
unsubscribed.
And again, no shit. Why the fuck music? And if it was music, why the fuck did it play a dour, apparently antediluvian rendition of a spaghetti western soundtrack? The mind literally reels. I'll be the first to admit that there are more differences than similarities between these eldritch entities that we've discussed today. In fact, the only key components that they have in common are the facts that they lack discernible facial features, seem to be boneless, and freak anyone who sees them the fuck out. Are we dealing with aliens? Sure. Cryptids? Sounds good to me. Elementals? Seems as likely as anything else. What if one or more of these flexible fuck-alls are the unintentional result of an occult ritual gone wrong? Or, if you have a scientific bias, might it be an equally arcane experiment dealing with interdimensional portals that went sideways, unleashing a well-nigh invincible army of these blobby little Baphomets on an unsuspecting world? The answers are yes, maybe, yes, probably, and fuck it, sure, why not? Because there's just no fucking way to know.
Yeah, this is so wide open.
In the end, the only real takeaway we have from any of these encounters is the fact that for some reason, these sloptastic shit shows scare the living bejesus out of us. From an anthropological perspective, it's likely the sheer volume of differences between these ostensible life forms and ourselves that creates within us the illusion of a repugnant, foreign, utterly unapproachable, and truly terrifying other, quote unquote. And in all likelihood, assuming that the bulk of these bizarre blobs are either sentient, self-aware, or both, we were discussing that earlier, they're probably looking at our bony, oddly appendaged, organ-filled asses with an equally unfathomable depth of disgust. And crappy though this mutual repulsion may be, take heart, because when all is said and done, it'll be nice for all of us to have something in common.
Oh, bizarre blobs, corporeal
Dang.
critters, or interdimensional invaders. Yeah, all these run the gamut, man. You nailed it at the end there. Like, there's not really a way to nail any of this down.
No.
Like, there's just so many different possibilities. The last one, man, playing the music and living in the bucket and then trying to come up to, like, live. Like, let me live. And the thing just kind of stands up like... I was almost thinking like some kind of weird like bacterial thing, but bacteria doesn't stand up.
Or play music.
It doesn't know. Bacterial's not musical.
Generally, no.
It does not stand
here's
up.
the thing, like there are like what are they, like colonies of things, like be it worms
Those
or
like those sewer worms
Yes.
that people always send me the videos
and
of,
other things that look monstrous and they look like a single
Worms.
but
vile thing.
It's just a big pile of.
But you don't mistake that for water.
No,
It doesn't
no.
roll out like
No,
rubbery water, try to reach up with like, I don't know, like just like a desperate cry for fucking life, like fucking, you know, Rutger Hauer at the end of Blade Runner or something.
The water geist.
Before he dies.
The water geist really has me going.
Yeah, I mean, if water has sentience, well, what the fuck? I mean, if all this UAP shit finally lets us believe that not only are trees smart, but fucking water is always looking down on us and like, why?
Man, my job changes drastically.
Yeah. When you have to like start being aware of it.
Yeah, it's just going to be a bad scene.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Be a real bad
Oh,
scene.
man.
I don't know.
It's
I
a
mean,
weird one.
I like the Shinto idea of like rocks having like some spirit, some
Right.
ancient ancestor.
Yeah,
it's something
it's
like
cool.
we all talk to inanimate objects and treat things we like with affection. That's fine, but it would be really weird living in a world like that. I don't think water is, But maybe
No.
some things living in the water have literally the perfect camouflage.
And like whatever the music that this thing is playing is
And the
really
music.
that makes me like actually you're posited the idea of it being some sort of like form of communication. Like, well, obviously if this thing is some weird blobby thing in a bucket, it might not have vocal cords.
Sure.
So this is just how it like communicates. Which
Well, I mean, it probably doesn't if it's water.
yeah, it wouldn't have.
right.
I mean, water.
That's a
water
fair
has,
guess. That's
Water
solid.
has no vocal cords.
I mean,
Almost
are we
like-
sure on that?
I almost think if it's making the noise by like vibrating or something,
Sure.
which would be like.
And that's what they say. What that
I don't know if that's even a thing.
the 11 dimensions and
made
string
that up.
theory. I mean, I can listen to fucking Michio Kaku talk, the grand physicist.
Yeah, I
doctor
have
he
no
is.
idea what he's
And
talking
I
about,
can
though.
even get what he's saying as he's saying it. Like, oh yeah. And then like 3 seconds later, I can't process a fucking thing.
Dude,
No, that's
Much less do the math.
There's
or
a point,
anything.
and then you just
Yeah.
you just get lost.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, no, I've got like.
Even
no
though I
clue.
love that shit, but I mean, sound and vibration, I think, from the limited amount of research I can comprehend, are the essentials to string theory and basically the foundation of the physical universe, that it's all vibrations and sound. So if something is more in tune with that and they're trying to communicate, maybe even something psychically to him, like make a sound that triggers an emotional response that gets it to maybe, I don't know, again, stop scrubbing his balls with him, or just like, hey, this is my space too. Let's fucking find a
Or
way to
if
commune.
it uses that noise and that the music and the vibration as a way to transport itself from point A to point B.
Portal sound
Yeah,
is whatever it is in
it's
its,
a cool,
in its home
it's
world.
a cool Marconi score.
And then it fucking a few dollars moors itself to fucking
Dude.
the bucket in Bangladesh.
If you're just hanging out and all of a
I
sudden you
don't
hear
know, man.
Goblin start playing, you're like, is that Goblin? And the portal opens. Like, dude, portal's open to Goblin. This is
imagine?
amazing.
That would be the creepiest thing ever.
It would be so.
Because you never hear
Ding,
Goblin
ding, ding,
music
ding, ding.
unless something horrible is happening.
No,
as
that's,
much as I
it's,
love
yeah,
it.
it's never like,
Yeah.
oh, little goblin, oh, pot of gold. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, to anyone out there, if you haven't heard Goblin, the band, they score a lot of great Italian horror films from back in the day. They're well worth a listen. Find them on YouTube or something.
Dude, I've got so much Goblin going on.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now. Oh my god.
I remember ordering it from the mall, and people are like, "What's Goblin? Is it some Euro metal?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"You don't know.
You don't even know.
It's fucking coming
The
in."
score of
It
Suspiria.
cost me like $40,
You don't
and I
even
loved it.
know.
Getting the
Yeah,
John
man.
Carpenter collection was one of my happiest days.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
I
got,
used to jam that in my fucking Caprice Classic, cruising around in the 90s, like just blasting the score from The Fog
Yeah.
or Prince of Darkness.
Oh,
People are
that's-
looking at you at downtown like, fuck you, this is my shit.
Yeah.
Who is this guy in
This
the
is how,
Capri?
and I'm suddenly in a movie. Anytime you play a soundtrack in a car, you're driving, you're in a movie. You're
Right.
editing the movie as you see shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I love it. Anyway,
Damn.
done with that. Listen to Goblin.
Yeah, I don't listen to Goblin. So yeah, I mean,
But yeah, if it's
super
opening a portal-
weird blobby encounters,
And like
the
maybe
last
maybe the
one.
acoustics of the bucket are just right, so it can
Maybe.
use that to
I mean,
enter
I
our world
wonder,
for
is it-
whatever reason.
Is it like a plastic bucket? Is it a wooden? Is
I'm
it
assuming
metal?
metal.
Really? I
Or
don't
maybe
know.
wooden,
Yeah.
I guess.
For
I
some
don't
reason,
know.
I assumed wood, but
Yeah, me too.
I
but
saw like a shitty old metal bucket with a handle, but who
yeah,
the
I
fuck
saw
knows?
like the OG, like a wood one with maybe like a metal brace. You know,
Right.
like, it's not one of those. We
Here,
have to see different
I
bucket.
wonder
let's
how
talk
that
like
would-
let's talk simple physics here. What kind of bucket could support an organism that has the potential to stretch to 3 feet? Granted, we don't know the width. I'm saying it is fairly like bulky and straight, and it's coming up like a fucking piece of taffy. It's being pulled, except it's clear water.
I see it like in the abyss. Remember? When
That's
that
what I'm
water
thinking,
tendril?
too.
Oh yeah,
I'm
you know what?
thinking
It's funny.
abyss,
I didn't think
yeah.
quite as rounded as
No,
that,
I'm
but that's a
thinking
good
abyss.
analogy because
Yeah, that's
that's the only time
I mean-
sentient water's ever been on film, as far as I know.
I guess metal or wood bucket. I don't see why.
It would have to be pretty big though, unless it was like a pencil thin 3 foot.
Yeah, I mean,
Right. I mean, if it's like a 5-gallon bucket, that's a pretty decent.
Decent buck.
That's a pretty decent bucket. Yeah.
Never heard that, but I love
a
it.
decent
A
buck.
decent
buck.
bucket.
Yeah.
Pretty decent
These bucks
bucket.
now it's there. Yeah.
I mean, but then again, like it could be one of those like bigger, rounder ones that you could use to like,
But if
put,
it is
like,
a wash tub,
laundry in.
I know exactly what
yeah.
you're talking about, like the old school wash tub. But then you'd see the bottom. Nothing would be.
You would
hidden.
definitely see.
I
the
think
put
they
bottom.
his
call
head
it a
in
wash
there.
tub or like if
Yeah,
a
you
bucket's
say,
a bucket.
A bucket's a
I-
fucking
yeah.
bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're all in agreement. It's a bucket. I mean, we've come to one
That
conclusion.
was the smartest thing we've ever said. A bucket's a bucket. All right.
And that's the science
Yeah.
you get from us week in, week out. You're welcome.
That is the only way to end that episode. That a
Bucket's a
bucket is
fucking bucket.
Awesome episode, man. These blobby things are super creepy.
Oh, there's plenty more too. We'll be revisiting.
They I guess with them it's like it's the lack of a form.
Sure.
In,
Fucks you up.
in the movement is what really it's because all I can think of, man, is creep shows. I beat you, and then boom,
Oh,
it just gets you at the very end.
Yeah. And that's one of the shittier blobs.
I
in
know, man.
cinema,
I love
but-
that
but-
blob,
but-
though.
But the
God.
raft section was the best part of that movie. hands
God,
down.
dude, just in his-
Hitchhiker was okay.
Dude's in his Speedo. He's like, "We're gonna make it." And he doesn't.
You don't have hubris.
No, dude, you
hubris
can't.
is the fucking. It's the
You
folly
can't.
before the fall.
Hubris of the Speedo.
Oh,
My forthcoming book.
Wow.
Yeah.
A bucket's a bucket.
Hubris
by
of
the author
Speedo.
of the hubris of the Speedo.
Yeah.
Mark Storrs.
Oh,
man.
man. All right, Robert, pull up our Patreon shout
I love it.
While I get this outro plug
Sure.
for Hellraiser 4 prepared in theaters February 5th and 6th. Fathom Events, not Hellraiser 4, Hellraiser Remastered in 4K. Hellraiser 4 was a banger, though. For the first time in 37 years, Fathom Entertainment will bring a newly remastered 1987's Hellraiser to the U.S. theaters on February 5th and 6th, 2025. The link for that will be in the description of this podcast. You can go to Fathom Entertainment and click it there. This release will feature a newly remastered 4K version of the film, as well as an archival interview, Under the Skin, which is Doug Bradley speaking on Hellraiser, where the iconic actor will discuss his first appearance as Pinhead.
Oh, no.
So you're going to get Doug Bradley
Yeah.
talking about, this is me, Doug Bradley.
It's so
We're gonna talk
classic.
about Pinhead.
Dude, we all saw Doug when we were at that convention
We
together.
almost had a table next to him.
Yeah, we became really close.
We all-
Yeah,
well, we-
that was like
to be
famous
table
people
buddies.
row, and they're like,
Yeah.
these fuckheads
John
can't
Schneider.
No, they
Yeah.
Doug
they
Bradley.
put
Thomas
they-
Howell's
C.
there.
Thomas fucking Howell.
But they put us next to Doug Bradley, and we were like, we might want to move our table
he's a little-
over to a different spot.
I think they
Hey.
weren't supposed to be there anyway.
What's
I
that?
think they fucked up.
I know. Well, I think
Oh,
they
yeah.
did too, because we're
Could
like
you
right
imagine
there.
Celebrity Row?
No, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. We don't belong.
No, we did not belong.
But we did
there.
get put by Bird-Eye Gordon, legend.
Oh, he
rest
was
in
awesome.
peace.
Yeah, man.
No, the
He
row
was
we were in
fantastic.
was
And-
great.
and-
Vernon G.
and-
Wells was a
Vernon
crowd.
G. Wells was
staring us
fucking
down the
Wells.
whole time. We're like, dude, I think we're
I
gonna
mean,
get our
the-
asses kicked.
The biggest,
Then he
biggest
came over and was
stared
like,
us down
all right.
totally. Yeah, like finally, like you guys been waiting to interview me, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He was a good
He's like,
interview,
all right,
too,
he's
man.
like,
All right.
It was great.
Yeah,
he
he's
was
dope.
so nice, so cool, and like I say, who can rock chainmail like him?
I
and
still have
Commando?
the
And
I got
Mohawks.
He
Oh,
is
yeah,
the
dude.
image, the iconic image from Road Warrior. Not Mel
That's-
Gibson,
yeah.
not the humongous,
No, he
even
is.
though I love it. Not little fucking chimichanga caveman boy. That was named Chaka. I was trying to
Oh
call
yeah,
him.
Chocolate.
That
Yeah.
little guy. Fucking no, not him. It is
Chimichanga.
fucking. It is Vernon Wells
Chimichanga.
with
Yeah,
his
no,
mohawk
yeah.
and the feathers and
Yeah.
the football pads.
That's the deal.
Charlie has that picture that I got from him up in his room where it's him is Wes, and it's like, Charlie, today's a good day to die. I was
Oh.
like, yeah. Charlie finally saw that movie. He's like, you talk to. I'm like, yeah, dude, I got to talk to that dude.
Dude,
was
he
super-
came and talked to us.
he was
He
super
found
cool.
us.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Vernon G. Wells rules.
And we got to talk to Joe Bob Briggs, one of the most iconic
Oh, yeah,
horror
yeah,
hosts
John
and film
Root.
scholars
Oh, yeah.
ever. And at the end, he said, "I'll try to make time for you guys. I'll close down. Everyone shutting up
Yeah,
shop."
he
He
lights,
came
and he's
talked to us
just-
for like 20 minutes.
yeah,
he
shoots the
showed
shit.
up.
Give a
Yeah,
shit.
He's super
Yep.
nice.
He's exactly
He's
what
awesome.
I had hoped.
He was.
He's always been my favorite horror host.
Patreon.com/Cryptonaut podcast for all you that support us out there. Robert, we want to give some thanks to
Dan Johnson.
thank you, Dan Johnson. I thought it was Don Johnson, but it's Dan Johnson.
Ooh, yeah, let's not mistake.
Hell yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to try to get my
You
French
got it.
on here.
You got it. You got it.
Peter Lafreniere.
Oh, thank you, Peter. We appreciate that.
Lafreniere.
Hell
I think
yeah.
that's right.
Sounds
Peter,
close.
Peter Lafreniere.
I like it.
Lafreniere.
Oh, you look at you.
That's
You're-
what a terrible accent.
Yeah, I like it.
I can never do an accent.
Peter.
Peter. Peter, is that you?
We can't start doing
Mr.
this.
Lafreniere?
I mean,
Chris, give me a look.
I thought you were going to try to do French, and you just gave up on that at all.
a band meeting alone.
Yeah.
We're out.
He's like,
Oh my god!
All right.
both out.
Thank you, Peter.
thank you, Peter.
Johnny B. No H's. Jonny.
Thank you, Johnny. We appreciate
Johnny
it.
B. That's
Hell
a
yeah,
rock and roll
brother.
name if
Hell
I've
yeah.
ever heard it.
Well, yeah.
Silent_Sasquatch.
Thank you, Silent
Oh, I
Sasquatch.
love it. I want to be quiet when I say it. I think that's why I kind of whispered.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Silent
I like it.
Sasquatch. Last, absolutely not least, and I'm not worried about these numbers, so fuck you, Mark. Noah M. Thank you. Thank you,
Nice.
one and all.
I was gonna just take one off, but I didn't.
You
I put
fucking-
no.
Oh, I told you to look at.
I know.
Son
Just
of a
to
bitch.
kind of slowly fucking eat away at Bob's fucking dying brain.
I'm not. First off, all right, it's atrophied a little, and I've definitely had major head injuries and car accidents.
It's okay, man. But
but I'm trucking, buddy.
You know, you're on there. You're
I'm
doing it.
Hey, I made Tulpa time.
You did, dude. Talpa time is Bobby time.
Yeah.
So, yes, thank you for all the support over there. Again,
Mhm.
patreon.com/
Could not do it without you.
podcast, all kinds of bonus. I think we've got 250 tonight. We're recording episode 251 of Patreon.
One.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, it's a lot. Plus all the video content we got over there. There's tons of video
Yeah, you
content.
get honestly. I mean, not just to toot it. Obviously, it helps us. It helps us survive. It helps us fucking live. But but you get a fuck ton of
Oh,
content.
there's so much stuff over
Like it's
there.
a whole separate,
crazy.
even wilder podcast.
Also, there's a 7-day free trial. So, like, if you want to just test the waters,
sure,
you can just check it out. People
it up.
do it all the time to get on there, and they're like, "Oh, damn, I didn't know that there was a whole other show here."
Right.
So, again, that's patreon.com/Cryptonaut podcast. Check it out there. The Instas, the Twitters, the socials, the medias. My God, everything's falling down around us. The TikTok was banned, and now it's back, and we're here and we're doing it. So, follow us, like, comment, share, DMs, whatever you got to do.
sure.
Social media, burn down the world. We're here. We're doing it. Hellerspace.com.
Fuck yeah,
Get yourself some t-shirts.
you rock.
Some goddamn
We got
t-shirts.
nice ones. We got the new one.
We got the new one. We got
The new Todd
we got
purse.
the new Todd purse. We
We
got the
got-
Slayer design. We got all kinds
Crypto
of fun
90s.
stuff.
We got all sorts of shit.
Crypto 90s. Rob's going to have a new design
New
coming
design
up for
coming
us.
out real soon.
Yeah, so be sure to check all that out there. The links will be in the description of this podcast. And again, in theaters, February 5th and 6th, Hellraiser.
Yeah.
4K. Fathom events. The link's going to be down here. Go there. If you go to this screening and you wear your Cryptonaut merch, send us a picture.
Please.
And we're going to put it up on our website. We're going to put it up on the Instas. We're going to do all kinds of fun stuff. And let them know Cryptonaut Podcast sent you. If you see Doug Bradley, if you see a Cenobite,
Yeah.
if you see the Chatterer,
Sure.
okay? Yeah, if you see CD Head, he was not in part 1.
No, he was not.
He was not. I
That
don't
was
care.
part 3. Anthony
Yeah.
Hickok's directed
Yeah,
that
exactly. If you see Pinhead himself, you go up to him and say, Howler Space, I heard about this from the Cryptonaut Podcast. You walk away.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
Drop the mic.
If you see a guy cosplaying as Pinhead,
Yep.
you drop our name.
Right.
Say, I heard about this.
Yeah, you
Do
do.
you think he'll actually go? I mean, he's in Buffalo, right?
I think he actually might be West Coast now from a
Oh, did he
couple of
move?
correspondents here. I think he might be West Coast. So,
I wonder if he's rooting for the Bills. If he's stayed in Buffalo for a while.
I mean, if he
likes American football,
I mean, yeah, he
could be a stretch.
You never know, man.
I mean, I've explained why sports are important. I don't need to do that again.
Yeah, no, we're already there.
This was
I saw
a pod.
I saw a great meme. It's like, yeah, I'm just, like the anxiety of just putting my my complete mood for a week in the hands of 20 billionaires, 20-year-old billionaires, which is very apropos.
Who
where you're like,
never
yep,
know you exist.
exactly.
Yeah.
All of
But
that's
okay.
true.
That's okay.
But that's okay because it brings your family together and others.
Yeah, no, I have a great time. Love the Bills. And hopefully by the time this comes out, we'll be heading to the Super Bowl after we beat KC. Go Bills, and we'll talking to you soon.
Oh,
Okay,
shit.
bye.
Yeah, you brought it in.
Bye.
Brought it all together.
We did it. We
Love
made
you.
it.
Love
Made
you
it
guys.
happen.
Bye.
And
Maybe.
Goodbye.
goodbye.